Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Psychic Tarot Show, streaming live here on YouTube and Rumble Beyond Mystic channels. Every Saturday, we're looking at the forecast for this upcoming week from today, the 22nd of what month is it? 22nd of February. I was just doing the math in my head and I was like, oh, wow, yeah, this is going to take us basically to March 1st. So we're looking at this last week of February 2025, and what a week it has been. Hello, everyone tuning in. Beautiful Beyond Mystic community from all over the world. Hello, and just wanting to check in. What is it like where you are? It has been absolutely dreary, cold, overcast, and rainy here on the west coast of Canada for the last, gosh, it feels like 2 weeks. And also, I've been noticing that I haven't been sleeping really well for about 2 weeks, almost since the full moon in Leo. So just wanting to check in and see how all of you are feeling. And also, very interesting thing to report, especially in light of what we saw in the forecast last week. Literally yesterday at 1:30 in the afternoon, while I was doing a session, we had a fairly significant earthquake here on the West Coast. I mean, it wasn't, bookshelves didn't fall over, but it was definitely quite disruptive. And I have it on film because it happened right during my session. And I kind of had to, fortunately, we are just wrapping up and I was like, I think I have to go. I think we're having an earthquake. So, yeah, just feeling that kind of overall tone to this past week or two, and recognizing that we had some pretty intense cards in our overview last week. So it was helpful for me to kind of preemptively know that and to also be somewhat prepared for it to be a bit of a rocky week. So yeah, just wanting to check in with all of you. Uh, yeah, warming up in the Northwest. Got your vitamin D today. Yay. Hi there, sunny and warming in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Yeah. Oh gosh. And someone is saying horrible sleep, tons of dreams. Oh, a little bit all over the map. So I guess for those of you that are experiencing warm weather and, a return of spring or just overall sense of well-being, just to tap in and connect with those of us where it's been a bit of a week. Yeah, disrupted sleep last night as well. So feeling all the different experiences. And before we get going with this week's forecast, I'm just going to remind you, as always, like, share, and subscribe to us here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel so we can continue to bring you this great content. So many shows also on our Beyond Mystic Rumble channel streaming live. And then, of course, you can find my consultations here at the Beyond Mystic Consultations page, 1 hour psychic tarot reading session with me, which includes a big picture overview of where your life is at right now. We record these sessions. That overview takes about 15 or 20 minutes. And the rest of the hour-long session, you can ask questions. You can ask detailed questions, very specific or general questions of a whole variety of different things. The sky is the limit. So yeah, let's go ahead now and have a look at this week. Yeah. Celestial Emma is saying, feeling the energy ramp up in the last 24 hours. Well, as I was mentioning earlier, it certainly was that here. And I was kind of hoping after the earthquake, after our little tremor, that, I would sleep better, but I was still not quite at that place last night. Definitely feeling that tension, underground tension. And, what do we do with that? What do we do with that? Because there's a lot of it on all the dimensional levels right now. And before we go into a sense of, like despair or overwhelm, what do we do about that? So let's ask that. Let's pose that to our guides tuning in today to see how we can support ourselves and each other. Okay. So we're starting off with a card that is a very traditional character in the tarot. This is our Hierophant. I'm just going to move that light a little bit. See if I can. That's better. There we go. Yeah, our Hierophant is really about the places we go to receive guidance. I mean, it can be read in a lot of different ways, but just as a general card, and it's coming up in our house of self, the personality. So it could be a time to go to the places where you get your guidance. And what I mean by that is your traditional teachings. So this is things that, and I feel like many of us have to upgrade what we were taught in our, upbringing, our childhood and our youth, about morals and ethics and values and so on. Some of it is really, really helpful, and some of it is not so helpful. It's quite outmoded. So you may be sort of putting together different traditional, I want to say, guidance systems. And yeah, looking to the past to kind of remember who you are, what are your ethics, what are your values. This card has to also to do with education. And so this could be, let's just see how it plays in with the rest of the reading. But there could be some way that you're looking to upgrade yourself this week because it's in the house of the self. And so, yeah, a spiritual traditional guide or teacher in the house of self. Yeah, Jenny is saying the whole past year has been a big review and revisit for me. Truly, for many of us. Oh, wow. Okay, we're off to a better start this week. Yay. We have in the house of our resources and our security. I'm hearing so loud and clear from the guides and our collective guides, meaning yours, mine, each other's. I'm hearing that we're going to really be celebrating the security that comes from our connections this week. We're going to feel safety in numbers, is what I'm hearing. This is a lovely 10 of Cups is like over the rainbow. It has to do, this is the area of security, but it's not a pentacle. It's not a money card. It's an emotional card. It would be like count your blessings and feel the strength in numbers. That is our security, is in our connections, our relationships, and strength in numbers. Well, isn't that interesting? And when you put that card next to this Hierophant, it could be finding your spiritual community, really connecting in with your spiritual community. Strength in numbers, right? Thanks, Chris. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, and DigiBean is saying feeling secure, right? So security is security is a feeling. It's not a thing. It's not like, the walls of the fortress or the money in the vault. Security is a feeling. And usually it comes from that sense of strength in solidarity. Your guides my guides, our guides are saying, how secure would you feel with fortress walls and a vault full of money if there was no one there with you? Yeah. Oh, finding our tribe at the Woo conference in Ottawa. We are getting so excited about this. Truly. My daughter Crystal is coming with me. She's my plus one for this event. And we are so delighted and excited to meet many of you and just feeling how this is the right time for this. This is the right moment for us to discover each other. And I like to actually point out that I feel so blessed in this community that I probably, almost more than anyone, maybe Meg, I have the extraordinary pleasure of meeting so many of you one-on-one online and doing, these sessions with you. Um, so Janine and Jean-Claude and Coco and the others, like they see you in the comments, but I've actually got to know you very intimately through our deep sessions that we've done together. And I just have to say, and then of course you haven't met each other either, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting to get so many of you together in one room, because I'm like, okay, you need to talk to that person because you're on the same page doing this, and you are like this, and you're all avatars. Like, so I think that could be part of, even if you're just streaming live from home or whatever that is, you're there with us in spirit too. So many of you that aren't going to be able to make it are there with us in spirit. And, even if you get a few of the replays and get to check out some of the vibe, I think it's going to be really an experience of that solidarity, because let me tell you, this community is made up of super beings. And you might be saying, oh, that's them. I don't feel that way. Well, just dig beneath the surface a little bit. I would guess that if you're here, you probably fit into this category. Oh boy. Okay, so we're all looking at facing the places where we've been abandoned and neglected. So this is a card. It isn't as bad as it looks. The fives are temporary numbers. Pentacles take longer than the other suits. They're the denser physical 3D energies. So the Five of Pentacles doesn't move as fast as, say, the Five of Swords or the Five of Wands. But ideally, we don't want to get stuck in this place. I always like to say, if you're going through hell, keep going. But this is showing up for us. Like if this was here, it would be like we'd all be feeling lack of resources, a lot of scarcity, worrying about money. But it's in the house of Gemini. So it's about our thoughts and our ideas. And we're all sort of coming to this critical conclusion that the way we've been living and our strategies around security and money have been forcing us into feeling, even if we have all, like I said, you have all the money in the world, but you feel alone, rejected, isolated, abandoned. So we're all working on this because it's the mind, right? Gemini, the mind, thoughts and ideas and words and communication. So yeah, it's this. And interesting, Linda saying, I began choosing my outfits for the conference yesterday. So excited. You could think, oh, everybody else is going to be all put together and I'm going to feel straight. You have no idea. Like, just knowing the backstories of what everybody's going through this. Everyone's like, I don't know if I have the right clothes to wear and I'm going to feel left out and I'm going to feel, and it's just like, let's just open our arms up wide and show up. And like, yeah, I just feel like the love frequency is going to blow so much of this narrative out of the water, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. In fact, some of the celebrities you talk to, you hear the stories of some of these supermodels and these people that have all this supposedly good looks and all the right clothes and everything. And they go through some of the greatest crisis of feeling rejected, abandoned, insecure. It's almost like the more of that there is, the more it takes us to this place of realizing that those things don't give us security. And it just drives that point home even deeper. So we're all going through a bit of a crisis with this. Yeah. Jenny Alicia is saying, I won't be there. I can't make it, but I know you'll have the best time ever. And again, you will be there with us in spirit. You absolutely will be. Just like I say when I do these sessions, that, it's your energy, your presence, whether you show up or not, just that you care about this show, you bring energy to it. And the guys are saying, say that again. Just that you care about this show, this channel, these kinds of messages, um, just that is your contribution right there. Like it feeds, it adds to the mix. You are adding to the mix. Yeah, right? So let's keep going. We've got in the house of Cancer. So Cancer, our home and our kind of safety, our sanctuary. Isn't this interesting? A really big energy this week around redefining what it means to have home, safety, and sanctuary. It's so interesting because when we had our little rumble, well, it was a 5.2, so that's not small, right? When we had that, my daughter was at her work in her salon, and I was at home by myself, and I was doing a session in the office, and then this rumble happened, and it was interesting, her experience of it, being in a larger building and with all these people around her, and my experience where I was at home alone, the car wasn't here, and I just felt, yeah, there was a real feeling of vulnerability, and I think had she been here or had someone else been here with me, not virtually, but in person, that would have changed my experience of feeling, sort of like, well, if we're in it together, then it's not so scary. And for her, it wasn't that scary. But for me, it was quite scary. It was really scary. My adrenaline didn't calm down for like a good half hour. I mean, it was literally like, yeah, the walls were going like this. And the sound was huge. It was like this big boom, boom, boom sound. And I was like, ah. I have been in two other, because, I've lived on the West Coast before, and I've been in two other similar degree of intensity tremors. But in those other instances, interestingly enough, I wasn't alone. And so, you just talk it through and kind of like give each other a little hug and you feel better. It stayed with me all day yesterday. I couldn't shake it off until my daughter got home. So this is something, there's something about, are we alone? Are we going through things alone? And this feeling of safety in numbers, even, whenever two or more of you. So what this is about is looking at how we can, if we live alone, can we connect and share and at least have the safety of going back and forth between our place and our neighbors, or our place and our friend up the road, or like just kind of expand a little bit, because this is a great card about the higher perspective. It's like this character, he's holding the world in his hand. He's looking out at the big picture, and he's from this high vantage point. We talked about being on a high vantage point last week, getting up to a high place so you can survey from a larger perspective. When we do it physically, it helps us metaphysically, right? It's like they say, if you paint or draw or play music, it helps you move your spiritual energy, your creative life force energy. When you take in the visual landscape from, the view, the greater view, my friend Charlene, who is a Feng shui designer, she calls it the Ming Tang, the beautiful view, the expansive view. So there's likely going to be getting out of your home this week or this week and next week over the next 2 weeks to get a different viewpoint, a different vantage point, a new Ming Tang, a new perspective. And sometimes doing that physically rearranges the brain. So interesting, right? It's like these two characters in that sense of isolation, loneliness, abandonment, um, in lack of security, not feeling secure. And they're saying, kind of a change is as good as a rest. So somehow taking a pause over the next 2 weeks to get this vantage point and or to go to someone else's house, then come to your house. Okay. Woo wee! We always do the happy dance when we get aces. You notice Janine and I, well, when we're not talking about extreme political situations, when we're talking more in the personal realm, aces, and this one in particular is the yes card. It is the Ace of Swords. It's in our house of Leo, and it is basically saying clear a clear path, clear a path, especially with our thoughts. So clearing away the it's almost like clearing away the things that are still keeping us under a spell. Now it's interesting that what I'm being shown right now, what my mind's eye and vision is showing me, is almost some of those old fairy tales, like I guess it's Sleeping Beauty or something, but where the whole kingdom goes into it, like falls into a deep sleep, and everything grows up over the walls, and and it's sort of like the prince or the rescuer or whatever has to clear everything away to actually even get into the center to break the spell. So there's something about a spell being broken this week through our clarity. And as we're all waking up, it is that almost like that fairy tale mythology of we've all been in this deep, long sleep. And this week, I don't know, there's something about clearing the path to open the gates to wake us all up. Yeah, it's an awesome ace, right? Lakeside Laura's going, yay! And Fire Within is saying, awesome ace. It is an awesome ace. Yep. So, love it. Let's see what the next one is. So this is in Leo. This is in, receiving something. So there's a sense that whatever that rescue looks like, there's a rescue on its way. There's a rescue coming, because Leo is about opening your arms and receiving something. And this is the yes card, but it's also, I saw that the foliage hanging from the top there. It's like, the prince or the savior coming to rescue us from the spell, right? The evil spell. The spell is being broken. Cool. Oh, look, it's another prince. Okay, so I'm not talking about a person. I'm talking about an energy, right? So the Knight of Cups is the energy of chivalry. It's the energy of care and compassion, and really putting our best foot forward. That rescue feeling on an emotional level, on a spiritual level. There's some kind of, look at this, look at these cards. 10 of Cups in the house of security. This Knight of Cups in the house of Virgo, daily life, practicality. So in your day-to-day life, random acts of kindness, putting your best foot forward and having that offered to you as well. So we had this a couple of weeks ago, maybe even last week, kind of this sense of being each other's cheerleaders and like, not quibbling so much over who did what and all that stuff, but just more or less showing up and going, yeah, you can do it, right? This feels like there's even a sense of rescuing each other this week. And I don't mean that dysfunctional kind of rescuing where, like, yeah, you create dependency. I'm talking about where it's obvious that you can step in and do something that will really help another person, and where you're going to be shown that obvious opportunity to do that for someone else. And it's lovely full circle, right? We don't necessarily have to be paid back by the person that we gave to, but it's sort of like that feeling of the circle of generosity, that it does come back around. And you may find it comes back around faster this week than ever before. Isn't that cool? Oh, goodness gracious. Another really happy emotional card. Three of Cups in the house of relationship. Wow. So this is very interesting. How many cups do we have? Let's see. We've got the 10 of Cups here in the house of Taurus, security. The Knight of Cups in the house of Virgo, which is our health and our daily life. And then the Three of Cups in Libra, relationships and contracts, legally binding choices. This is the celebration card. This could also relate to, because it's across from the Hierophant, it could relate to really favorable conditions if you have some sort of case, because it can relate to law and legal matters. And this could be connected to some sort of case related to um, maybe even a health related case. Uh, and it looks like a very a outcome where it's favorable and there's a celebration associated with it. So that's really beautiful. And again, this sense of people showing up for each other, shared strength in numbers. Isn't this lovely? Oh, it's giving me a warm feeling. Yeah. Um, oh, Early Morn is saying, my friend and her then newborn twins got me through the scamdemic. Classic win-win situation. I'm sure you got her through too. Isn't that lovely? Yeah. Um, Love that horse. So beautiful. Isn't it a beautiful white horse that this Knight of Cups is riding? Yeah. Um, and I love the Ten of Cups. It makes me feel that family will reconnect. Yeah, and this is all about, supporting each other in that sense of security as well. Um, Jenny Alicia is saying it's nice to feel useful, right? Yeah. Hmm. So let's keep going. We'll add a couple more cards and then I'll break to show you some more things here. Ooh, wow. Four Wands. Just going to pull this down a little bit. There we go. Four Wands in the house of Scorpio. Endings and new beginnings. Relationships, reuniting. This card often represents graduation ceremonies, homecomings, reunions, marriages, weddings. It's just, with these two cards beside it, there's something about bringing our attention back to these very, very important, I want to say, family rites of passage, the things, and even this, right? Like this card, the Hierophant, which is our traditional values and our traditional practices. So it feels like you could even be contemplating or hearing about weddings, engagements, births, reunions, family reunions, all of these kinds of things, awards, like there's a lot of a feeling in the air of you're going to be having an opportunity to connect and have this beautiful experience. So it's reminding us in all of our fight for freedom and truth to remember to live these moments that life is passing us by. And this week, we're really going to feel a reconnect with some of those special, I want to say, milestone experiences. Uh, yeah, I mean, a lot of people struggled during the scamdemic, right? A lot of people struggled with, people weren't able to have weddings as they had planned or family reunions and so on. And in some cases, those things haven't resumed. So there could really be a feeling this year, and even planning into 2026, we're going to have this sense that we're seeing a lot more of this energy and that we're being shown, oh, yeah, there's going to be like a lot of dates in the calendar is what I'm hearing, especially kind of from April to October. It feels like we're going to be focusing on some of those events and bringing this beautiful energy into. Have you ever noticed that your hunches or your intuitions about some sort of journey or event are often accurate? The first hunch you had is usually accurate with what is, the greatest potential to happen. And so they're saying just have your first hunch and then leave it. You don't need to go back and reanalyze it and get all in your head about it. Just feel that first hunch of if something feels like it's a good idea or it could be really amazing, just put it out there and leave it. And don't keep messing with it, right? A lot of times, don't we do this? We have a feeling about something and then we go in and we overanalyze it and we get all wound up in it. Because they're saying it's like our ideas, our intentions are actually out there doing, they're saying growing legs and walking and becoming manifest if we can just leave them alone and let them do that. So follow your hunches, listen to your instincts. Oh my gosh, another cup. How many is it? 1, 2, 3, the fourth cup. In this case, it's the Queen, and she is in the house of travel and expansion. Jupiter, the house of Sagittarius, journeys, travel, expansion. Really sentimental trips that are being planned. Also, trips connected to mothers and children, maybe even something to do with Mother's Day, a reunion of some kind. There's a feeling here, a feeling in the air. Yeah, interesting. And very interesting. She's across from this Five of Pentacles. So something about forgiving abandonment, like forgiving our abandonment. We all carry different abandonment or rejection wounds. And this is a card. She's very compassionate. Out of all the court characters, she's the most empathic and compassionate. Let's see what's on the other side of her. Oh, the healer. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there could be a lot of spontaneous healing this week. So isn't it interesting? We had last week with all those intense cards at the beginning, I was kind of like biting my nails at the end of our session. And sure enough, this week was, we actually learned that, I learned that one of our beloved family pets, my granddog, passed away this week. And just quite a lot of sort of very intense, potent, emotional experiences, including sort of the cherry on top, which was the earthquake yesterday. And so this week is this beautiful sort of aftermath of the energy of last week, and that we get to integrate. And that we kind of got cracked open last week, and now we get to sort of Yeah, like nourish ourselves and heal our hearts this week, because all those cups, even this temperance angel that's at the house of Capricorn, which is your sort of your worldliness, right? Worldliness. We're also stepping into our healing capacity. And this temperance angel is holding 2 cups, alchemizing healing. I call it the healer card. And it's in the area of our self-actualization and worldliness. So many of you may be feeling the call or hearing the call, right? 2 of Wands down here in Cancer, grounded. This is kind of like your crown chakra up here, where you're headed, feeling the call to apply your healing, your healing energies, bringing healing to situations, and even working as a healer, but not so much in the realm of money exchange, more in the realm of like life calling. So this would be almost more like your mission as a healer, as opposed to your business as a healer, if that makes sense. Doesn't mean you can't make any money at it, but it certainly is not motivated by that. Wow. I mean, these 2 characters side by each up here at the top, I'm like, that's pretty rare. That is like the best healing salve. If you could have like a big dollop of healing, metaphysical healing salve on your life, it would be these 2 together side by side at the top. And there they are. So absorb all this healing this week, everybody. Let it move into your whole being and let it heal up all those cracks and all those wounds and all those places that you've been so fiercely courageous in opening up. And let this beautiful healing balm sink through everything now. Wow. I can feel it even as I'm saying it. Yeah. All right. Suddenly, a turn of events. Things can happen very suddenly in an upgraded way. I mean, look at these cards, everybody. Can you see this? What a difference from last week. Isn't it incredible? Paloga, I look forward to finding my mission. I feel it's so close. Done so much inner work. It's time now. Yeah. Yep. The wings are so cool, right? The wings. Yep. And there's a real sense here of purpose and power, but the power comes from the groundedness and the intention to be a healer and to be of service. So that's really lovely. Yeah, I'm seeing some comments. You had an earthquake? Wow. Yeah, we did. Aw. So sorry, Ashala. I have my kitty on my lap. Yeah. I just have to say that it wasn't a total surprise, because this pet, this beloved 4-legged member of our family, he was getting into his elderhood. He was 11 years old, and for a German Shepherd cross, that's a good ripe old age, but it was still really hard. Yeah. I had a big cry. Lasted half the day. And that was many days ago, so I'm feeling a lot better now. But, we're all in various different ways, right? Each of us has our own version of hitting these critical mass nodes of great upheaval and up-leveling and breaking down and breaking through. Thanks, Lakeside Laura. You grew up with German Shepherds and you love them. Well, my story is quite interesting, because I was terrified of German Shepherds. And when my younger daughter brought our beloved, his name is Aries, when she brought him into our family as a puppy, I was quite skeptical. I was really open because I could see how therapeutically beneficial he was for her at that time, but I was very skeptical in terms of my own comfort level. he was very rambunctious and had a lot of energy, and he just healed me. Within 2 weeks, I was like absolutely a puddle of love, and have been in love with German Shepherds ever since. Yeah, I'd had a couple of instances as a child where I was frightened, in one case even bitten by a German Shepherd, and I was really afraid of them, and he just healed me. So healing. And, you know, this energy of, it's almost like that when they say be careful what you wish for, I think it's more about be careful what you get attached to. Be careful what you fixate on. And I'm not talking about being attached to our beloved friends, family, and four-legged family members. I'm talking about our attachment to life is always going to be this way. There's nothing we can do about it. Or, our stories of victimization and challenge. It's like things can change so quickly. And we're back to that, almost like that fairy tale energy of, Sleeping Beauty and the whole kingdom going in under this spell. And it's the awakening, right? Because that's across from that. Remember, I said that there was Prince Charming going in, and Prince Charming really just representing a part of us, a part of our character, part of our psyche that is, has valor and honor and courage, and is devoted and committed to bringing healing and restoring balance. The protector of all things good, that's that part, that Prince Charming. That's what I'm talking about. And we had that Ace of Swords that was the clearing away of that spell that we've been under. And look at this, how rapidly things can turn around and do a 180. Among other things, this card relates to a 180 experience. So if you feel like you're being pulled in all directions, if you feel like events are taking you from one extreme to another on a personal level, on a, political level, in terms of your understanding, your ideologies, and your beliefs. If you feel like you're just being pulled and things are going from one extreme to another, it's to increase your capacity to hold space for the big picture of what's happening here, because it can change really potently in an amazing way. I feel like we're a lot further along this evolution. And I often think about with this card as well. It's in the house of Aquarius, by the way. So this is with our friends and our community and stuff like that. And the critical mass, right? We talked here about strength in numbers. This is also about the critical mass, hitting that critical mass, whether it be people who are awake or people whose hearts are open. Even if they're asleep, if they have this grand awakening spiritually, it's kind of almost not going to matter, because they will suddenly see things. And anyway, how rapidly things can shift, and we can be in a whole new realm. And almost like we don't even know how we got there, but it was all these millions of little actions that you've taken over the years that have added up. And we don't see the change. I often call it the kaleidoscope phenomena, where you're moving that kaleidoscope and moving it, and nothing's shifting, right? Those little things are all staying where they are. And you're like, I just twisted it. Like, what's happening? And then all of a sudden, boop, it all moves at the same time. It doesn't move one piece at a time. It's sort of like it gains this energy, this momentum of critical mass, and then boom, it all shifts. So we're at this week, we may see little activations of critical mass where all of a sudden it's shifted. Lakeside Laura is reminding me, I've got to talk about this. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me just take a moment to bring you back over here. Start like that, and then we'll go like this. And I want to show you These Ascension Organite Feng Shui towers perfect, sorry, for every Bagua corner of your home, handmade with crystals and metals. And this is another little short story of my own personal experience with Feng Shui, which I've been doing for a lot of years. And I'm super excited to have my dear friend Charlene. She's going to be joining me here on Beyond Mystic. Some of you might have seen her on my YouTube channel. She's going to be coming on, let's see here. It is the first As Above, So Below show following our conference. I think it's on like the 18th of March, 19th of March, whatever the Tuesday is. Anyway, she'll be on with me there. And we're talking about Chinese astrology, Chinese New Year, but also a little bit about Feng Shui, which is her wheelhouse. And so I also practice Feng Shui and had a little Feng Shui business a long, long time ago. And when I saw these Organite towers, I was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. This is so cool. And I used to always say, I wish I had something where I could just put something into like a little case for the person and say, okay, you need this area of your home activated. Here's this little bundle of crystals and oils and metals and stuff, and just put that in a nice way, arrange it nicely in the corner. But it was always like, we'll hang a crystal and maybe put a plant and maybe do this. And when I saw these, I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. So if you don't know much about, if you don't know much about Feng Shui, I see that she has put this beautiful, I'm just going to lift this up a little bit more. There we go. She has put this beautiful little Bagua map on it. So it's really easy to stand at your front door and say, that room is in that corner, that room is in that corner. And then you know where to put these Organite towers. And you don't need all of them. I think it's a really incredible investment if that's affordable to you. But you can look at the areas of your life. Let's say one of the areas of life that a lot of us want an upgrade in is wealth and abundance. And so you can look at that corner and go, yeah, I'm going to put that one in that corner, or health, or relationship, or learning new skills, or family relationships, or ancestors. So these are all different Bagua parts of the home, and there's a Organite tower for every one of them. So I think this is a really cool thing. Check out the link below to order your very own Organite tower. Aw. Just going here. I'm just reading back to see what people are talking about. Oh, thank you. Someone's talking about my dowsing course. Aw, Fire Within is saying, lovely layout, so special. All right, let's go back because we've got one more card to finish this week's layout. Well, actually two, because we've got our center card. So let's finish with the House of Pisces, the deep subconscious. Has it been through a lot? Yes. Where's it at? The Empress. The Empress. Okay, well, we're going to talk about mums. We're going to talk about mums because we got the two mothers here in this little layout, all right? Empress in the House of Pisces and Queen of Cups in the House of Sagittarius. So, Queen of Cups across from the Empress across from the Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups across from the Five of Pentacles, really seeing the ways that your mother, even if you had a strained relationship with your mother, there could be a real feeling this week of seeing all the ways that she sacrificed for you or did her very best in her way of what she thought was going to provide for you. Real healing around mother energy. And then that connects also to our earth home and nature. So there is something, yeah, nature is activated. And it could be a really great week to connect with nature, not just in a, oh, I'm going to go out and put my feet on the ground and let all this anxiety and stress and pressure um, release into the earth or into the water or whatever, but to go out and do something honoring of nature. Like go sing a song or leave a little gift or write a little poem and tuck it into a tree, crack in a tree or something. Like do something that's honoring. And you might even do this with the spirit of your mother or the memory of your mother, healing with your mother. And also, if you are a mother, it can be where you're reminded of all the ways that you've cared for your children. So it's almost like you're relating. Ooh, I'm getting the chills. You're relating to how our earth puts up with us, right? Like a good mom. It's true. I mean, we think a good mom, well, she doesn't let her children just abuse her endlessly. She makes boundaries and they have to suffer consequences for their behavior and she gives them warnings and all that kind of stuff, right? But this energy of she'll really continue to show up, you know, and there's something beautiful about this fullness, full circle this week. Wow. Okay, so last card in the middle, the King of Fire. The King of Fire. Well, it's interesting, a lot of times here in the Truther community and our Beyond Mystic community and working with Janine, she often has called this the Mr. T card. So there is something, interestingly, even working with the feminine energy in the background of Mr. T, like his mother, grandmother, great grandmothers. Something about this kind of wisdom of the mother energy, sort of taking the lead or helping steer the direction, helping, kind of almost get this feeling of it's not dousing the fire, but it's calming the flame of it a bit. It's just like cooling it a little bit and calming everything. So there's a real sense of calming, ruffling our feathers this week. Like we've been pretty heated and pretty activated. We just need to cool off a bit. And there's going to be that beautiful sense of cool and peace and healing. Wow, what a reading. I'm like, feel really encouraged by this reading. Yeah, wowee, how perfect. Could that be ancestor mothers like grandmothers? Definitely. Definitely. Um, mm, Plant a tree of poetry. That's like a little rhyme in itself. Yeah, I'm going to do a memory garden this year. So lovely. Aw, Sister Nobody says, my mom's picture is in front and center on my tarot reading table. She always speaks to me. Yeah, it's very interesting, right? After a very, oh yeah, someone else is talking about the Earth shake yesterday, 5.1 near Vancouver. That's what it was here. I'm right across from you on the island, and incredible. Yeah, Deb Sir is saying Mr. T had a fiery speech today and mentioned Melina. So the first lady, mother of his child, right? So yeah, there's this energy. Something of the divine mother is coming forward here. And also we saw that, the knight in shining armor, which is kind of like that savior energy that we talked about. But again, so much with all these cups and that temperance angel on the top, there's a real sense of balance and peace and calm and compassion. The only really troublesome card is that Five of Pentacles in the house of our ideologies, our beliefs, and our values. So we're working on healing that rejection, abandonment, insecurity piece, and we're all experiencing it. Yeah. Incredible. What a week. Yeah. And, that final reconnect with Earth Mother, shuddering. And, you could see it as a warning. I prefer to think of this as a reminder. It's a reminder. We're not just here having this experience. We have a mother. We have a mother that birthed us, and we want to honor her and remember her, and remember how much she's put up with and be grateful. Be grateful. Well, that closes us up for the rest of this week. It's lovely. That feeling of, again, healing and sealing a lot of the cracks. Beautiful. I love that. So if you want to find me and book a session with me, you can find me over here. The Beyond Mystic Consultations page. Use the coupon code below to get a 10% discount. And as always, please remember to like, share, and subscribe at the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel. Or you can follow us here on Rumble. It's been a pleasure to share with you as always. Thank you for a beautiful, I want to say, congregation of energies. Even if you came on late or you're watching the replay after, you were felt. Your presence counted. And thank you for that. Have a beautiful week. Receive the healing that's available to all of us. And I look forward to seeing you here. Same time next week. Blessings. Bye for now, everybody.